This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Man, I wish I could actually play guitar and play the intro music. That would be dope, but that's not me. But this is the LowcoSports Lowdown. I am Justin Jarrett. He is Wes Kerr, and we are back for another special edition tonight. It's that time of year where the schedules don't necessarily line up with what we have done throughout the season, so we've been switching it up, and tonight we'll call it a Lowdown because we got a little bit of everything to talk about, but it's mostly hoops, quite frankly, and you were at the Den for a absolute heartbreaker. Bluffton girls battled back from a pretty significant halftime lead. What was it, like 13?
They were down by 9 at halftime, but I think the largest one was like 13 at one point early in that third quarter before they were able to press and get back in the game. But man, we'll talk more about it later because we got guests waiting for us here on the show. But
but a tough 1-point loss, 50-49 for the Bluffton girls. So it ends there. Heck of a run by them, and I really think if they had gotten past this, I think they would have gotten to the state championship game. I think the winner of this one was going to be poised to be able to do that. So great run for them. We got some highlights we'll check out later, but you mentioned that we do have a guest in the green room to talk about two Peach Belt Donnybrooks. One went our way. The other one was more devastation and heartbreak for the Sand Sharks. A split up in Aiken, and Bracken Lambert joins us from the arena, the Convocation Center, I think they call it in Aiken.
Yeah, the Convocation Center.
We've experienced heartbreak there before, Wes. You were there for Hilton Head High heartbreak, and Bracken was there tonight for Sand Shark heartbreak. But we're talking about the men's game because Kev Price banged a three. USCB really led almost the whole game. Aiken surged at the end, took the lead. Kev Price hit a three to draw him even with like 4 seconds left. And Aiken drew up a really nice play and got Tyler Johnson open, and he banked it in for a three at the buzzer. But the women,
a 2-pointer.
Oh, was it two? It was a two. Okay, officially. So it's 76-74. But the women pulled out a 56-55 win. That's 3 in a row in Peach Belt play, and going into a big game now Saturday at home against Flagler as you get on the bus.
On the bus, we're in the truck,
or in the car. You're in the car.
We got 3/4 of our admin team here, or 3/5 of our admin team. We got Quinn and Gina in on the call as well. So
got the whole crew. So tell us about the night. Obviously, mixed bag, but 2 more great games and another great win for the women.
I mean, what can you say? I mean, they just keep fighting, and that was a game that they needed to win, and now they're just there, man. They found their stride, and still playing without Lydia or Sheridan, but they're finding a way to win, and that's all that matters is they're finding ways to win.
This time of year, keep getting those dubs and keep climbing those standings. And it's been really fun to see just the growth of this team, and now they're putting it together, stringing multiple victories together, and it sets up for what should be a heck of a showdown against Flagler with some big Peach Belt tournament implications on the line.
Yeah, I mean, Saturday is going to be a big game. We've said it before, the Cove is a tough place to play, and I think anybody who comes in there is going to get rattled. We saw that last weekend with North Georgia. So I think it's going to come down to if we can execute the game plan, and if somebody comes up with a timely shot just to put us ahead and get going, man, it really is. Primo had a great game tonight, game leading 17 points. Shania Rose, man, she was an absolute monster on the boards. She came 2 points shy of a double-double. She had 8 points and like 10 rebounds in the first half. So nice. I mean, she was just rocking away. So
good to see her get the offense going a little bit because she's been having a hard time. I mean, they pay her a lot of attention on defense, but she always finds ways to contribute. I mean, she gets a ton of boards. She gets so many loose balls and deflections, and she's so tough at the top of that screen. So good to see her get the offense going a little bit more. But tough one for the guys. But man, the record's not going to tell the story of this season in the Peach Belt.
I mean,
not even close.
I mean, you just
so many close
that they dropped, that they were within either as overtime or they were within just a few points. I mean, both those games against USC Aiken, but then the most recent one at home against North Georgia. I mean, just every single game they've been that close to pulling out, and you just wish they could have gotten a few of those, but still, I mean, it's really fun to watch this team and continue to see them grow as a group and just unfortunate to suffer a couple of close ones that they could have had.
Yeah, I mean this one hurts a little bit more just because Kev hit that amazing shot there in the last. Like we were like, all right. I mean, I had my bag, sit down. I was like, all right. I was getting ready for overtime. I was like, let's
Overtime
go.
it is.
And that's just kind of the thought process. I was like, all right, here we go. I mean, it's just become kind of an occurrence now, overtime with the men's team. But yeah, Tyler Johnson, man, they were specifically not trying to foul, and they let him through, and he just banked it in. I mean, it's a miracle shot,
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and they designed up a nice play to get him a look too, and then he ran into it and just threw it up there online and used the glass. Sometimes it bees like that, but well, hey man, we know you guys have a long haul home, but so we'll let you get on the road. I know you're already on the road, but we appreciate you hopping on and giving us a little report from Aiken.
Yeah, man. Well, we're looking forward to Saturday, and Chloe and Gina, y'all want to say bye?
Bye. Hey, who won the Bluffton game?
Bobcats lost 50 to 49. Heartbreak. Tell Bracken to keep the broadcast up if you want to watch the highlights later.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
But
right,
y'all be safe now.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
All right. Team Sandshark on the way back from Aiken. Appreciate the check-in and big win for the ladies. Tough one for the fellas tonight. But Sharon Versup's team has really turned it around. And, you think back, they're 3-0 now since they took the forfeit. They were just fighting uphill with injuries galore and grinding it out, and it wasn't working. They needed to get healthy, and so they just ate one and got everybody feeling right, and they haven't lost since. So it's been cool to see them turn that corner a little bit, and I think they're going to be a formidable program in the very, very near future.
Yeah, I mean, just to see what they've accomplished this year in their first season, to be competitive against some really solid teams, and just that turnaround with North Georgia kind of speaks for itself when you look at that scoreline. But I mean, if you missed it, 103-38 in the first one, and then 66-59 win. The first was a loss, second was a win. So that says it all right there. And
72-point swing in one season. Yeah. That's unreal.
There's one thing to do that, but then to keep it going, to do it on the road, because those last two were at home, and then they get Versup says you got to be 10 points better on the road to get it done there, and Sandsharks took care of the job. It was Donnybrook, but get it done.
It was. They had to hold on at the end, but tough win. I saw Bartle hit a nice little teardrop. I like her mid-range game a lot. She's starting to find that, and if she can get that 3-point shot back next season, she can really be a factor. But let's shout out some sponsors real quick, and then we'll get to the highlights from the Bobcats against Ridgeview. Terrific game, tough outcome, but absolutely terrific game. MVP sponsors of Loco Sports, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Loco Sports, and my wife. She would love to help you find your place in the Loco and put down an anchor in the best place right here. She's with the Anchor Home Group, Keller Williams, the Low Country. Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Loco Sports. Homegrown Home Inspections is the official home inspector of Loco Sports. Jan Lucas and his team will, when you find that home or when you're building a new one, make sure that it is up to code and ready to go so you don't have to sink a bunch of money into your new investment. Call on Homegrown Home Inspections, official home inspectors of Loco Sports. Mickelson Law Firm is the official real estate closing attorney of Loco Sports and our original sponsors all the way back since 2017 when we got this show on the road. Ryan and Tiffany have been supporting us ever since, and we appreciate them. They can help you with all your legal needs at Mickelson Law Firm. And Hospice Care of the Low Country is the official hospice provider of Loco Sports and the only not-for-profit hospice in Southern Beaufort County. They don't just offer hospice care, but also palliative care, free grief counseling, and they're adding mental health services, and they do it all in a way that allows people who can't afford it to do so to access it without coming out of pocket. They do that by raising funds through great events like the Yacht Hop coming up on May 18th. Is that right?
Yep.
We looked it up last night. May 18th at Wexford. Get your tickets and Hospice Care of the Low Country and support them so they can support our community, because it's not about dying, it's about living. So Wes, you were over in the den, and I'll get the highlights rolling here while you tell us about it. A heck of a game. Bobcats were down pretty good early, but like you said, and battled back, trimmed it to single digits going to halftime, then came out on fire in the third quarter and got right back in it. And then just a fight to the finish, and they
Right.
came up on a
Ridgeview kind
run
of took
there.
command in the fourth. Bobcats battled back again, but just some unfortunate circumstances there at the end. Ridgeview and Bluffton trading buckets and just couldn't get to that last one to take command. But man, what a tremendous basketball game! And this is one really hurts for which either of these teams falls short. Just the way the bracket looked up, like you said, because whoever won this one would have been the clear favorite going forward, especially in the lower state final. But this Bluff team, it did not look very good early. I thought they were a little tentative, a little bit nervous, and they just weren't able to get to Koya Hayward or really the shots to fall. They're shooting a lot more threes early on and just weren't able to sink them. And then I think what they did is just they got to more of the aggressive driving, get to the hoop kind of game, which really strengthened what they were able to do. But give credit to Ridgeview. They came out and they executed really well, hit some shots, made some threes. And 23 Johnson was unbelievable. She led everybody with 24 points. And just a definition of a shot maker. She drained some threes early, really important to give them some separation. And she was able to knock down some jumpers and use that size advantage to score at the hoop as well. So really nice player for that Ridgeview Blazers team, and was
it looks like they had some really good size, and so it makes me wonder how it would have been different if Maddie
was going to be it's you never knew how one player would have impacted it, but just the nature of how close it was, you just think that if they had more size to get a couple more of those rebounds, could have changed in a different direction. So unfortunate to see Maddie not suit up for this game, because you work hard to get to this moment. That's the nature of it sometimes with the injuries. But you talk about Shalana Mosley was tremendous all season long, but she had to do that yeoman's work inside, block some shots, get some boards, and contribute offensively. And she kind of did all of that, which was really helpful for this Bluffton squad in a game like this. And just the way they battled, the way they fought after being down by 13, it looked like lights out early in that third quarter. But here comes Amira, who was tremendous in this ball game, and she plays with so much energy, intensity, and just so gifted offensively. And I think her shot and just the way she evolves as a player is going to really continue to happen throughout her career. And she's going to, find ways to impact the game more ways, especially now that Takoya is on her way out. But I really liked what she did, and she really provided a spark when the Bobcats needed it. When they were down close to double digits, she got in and made a couple of layups and really continued the energy over to the second half. So she was important. Takoya just couldn't find her range. She missed a couple of free throws, unfortunately, in that I think she went 4 for 8 in those first few free throw attempts. As once again, Ira Brown with some craftiness there.
That was nice.
And the first
had that huge bucket to tie it up
at
the end, and then an unfortunate foul trying to make a play.
Yeah, we'll get
it away. We'll get there in time.
Takoya came back to tie it, and then just that's one of those in the heat of the moment. It's hard to avoid that. And for Takoya, just you're playing with energy. You want to get that game into overtime as much as you can, and just tough to see it shook out the way it did. But man, the way they pressed defensively in that second half to get themselves back in this game, and the energy, it was rocking. Once Amira and Takoya got going, it was absolutely hype in the day over there. There's another forced over steal at center court. Here they come again.
Shout out to Buford's Own for broadcasting this one as well, by the way. I was able to catch part of it after rec softball practice.
Yeah, Javon doing a great job all season long. But it
was live in there.
Some great defense too near the basket in that third quarter. You get some stops, and Takoya doing her thing. She really got going that second half. Struggled early, but she really found her game, and I think it started with the play defensively. They got into that press, created havoc, and here come the quick buckets. Koya
That's
again.
what they have to feast on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably
Free throw
should have
line.
gone to it a little
Yep.
earlier.
Yeah, but
It's tough to know when to
right.
when to turn it on. You don't want to use it all up and run out of
Koya
gas either.
again. As Bluffton comes all the way back, they're down 13 at one point in that third quarter. Ends up being now a 2-point deficit as they continue to push this Ridgeview team. Really good squad, by the way. That's a quality group that they almost beat here tonight, if not for just a few plays that fortunately went the other way. But Ridgeview, credit to them for fighting back because Bluffton they were on them, and it was crunch time. If Ridgeview, because Bluffton had they're up 3 at one point, and they got that and one to tie it, and I thought Bluffton had it at that point. I mean, it was going all their way, and Ridgeview just wasn't able to really find anything. And all of a sudden, they got that big bucket turn around. But there's Decoya Hayward. The place was absolutely bananas at that point.
Yeah.
And Ridgeview, once again, loses the ball. Hayward going the other way, calmly lays it in. Bobcat Nation going wild.
I know it was loud because Javon was yelling on the call.
Yeah.
When he starts yelling on the call, you know that he's having to talk louder to hear himself in his headphones.
The
'cause I do the
Bobcats are
same
up
thing in
3
the
at this
Cove.
point. It's looking good. And then Ridgeview strikes here with an and one to end the third quarter.
Yeah, Janai Carter, if I recall correctly,
Oh,
former Hampton County or Wade Hampton Red Devil, Janai Carter, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
That's tough to see, but that's where it really started to turn back the other way for Ridgeview. With about that three, they made one a little later. Myra Brown again to the rack.
Oh, good.
Not converts.
Oh, no
rebound.
call.
Yeah, China Mosley working hard over there. They don't get it.
Oh, it's a lot of contact for no call, especially considering that we had a call with 3 seconds left.
Here's the step back three.
Oh,
Nasty.
was that Janaya too? Janaya's got some game, man.
Yeah.
Wish she'd have been at Hampton this year. Would have been fun to watch. Oh, that was almost a good play. You got to throw it off of her a little bit harder. You can't let her get her hands to it.
Quick passing up court, foul drawn. So Ridgeview ends up going
It's a
up.
fine line between a good play and a disastrous play sometimes.
Bluffton continuing to press here, but Ridgeview did a good job of adjusting and beating that press. And making good passes because the Bobcats really relied on that to get
help defense.
Yeah. 5-point game, about 3.5 to go. Bobcats looking for their own. Hayward
up against it.
Yep. This is where you really gotta find something. Go your best players, see what they can do. Got some audio here.
Yeah, a little gnat sound. I want to hear it. I want to hear the gym.
See, that's what I wish they could have done a little earlier. Is just, and that's kind of what we saw last game in North Myrtle Beach. They were a lot, really aggressive going to the hoop. They kind of, went into that a little later than I wish they would have, and maybe even a different story if they hit threes. But that's some afterthoughts that you have.
Yeah, it all kind of compounds on itself.
To Johnson, who was really reliable and good passing. Ridgeview to break that press, but how about that? Bolden with the big bucket to cut it back to 2. And the Bluffton Bobcats. Yeah. That's trying to inch closer here, and floater does not go for Myra Brown.
Myra took a shot there. Man, physical.
Yep.
It is a contact sport.
It was a scrappy last few minutes. Going for those loose balls.
Oh, yeah. Everything's on the line. 50-50 balls.
Yep.
Might as well be in the prison yard. They're going to get after it. Especially the refs are swallowing their whistles. You're going to.
Yeah.
But then they let them scrap like that, and then on the last play they call. A reach that didn't affect the play.
Ira Brown's strong move to the hoop, so it's a 2-point
Big
game,
time.
49-47. Minute to go, so Bluffton get a stop. We'll have a chance here to try to tie or take the lead. Good strong defense here, and it was going the other way, but then the foul was called. We get another possession here. It's Ridgeview. Pass it to the outside.
Good kick out.
Yep.
Had a foul.
And be able to
But then
get
she
some
missed
misses
on
at the
both,
line.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
With the free throws, and now Bobcats down by 2 with the ball.
boy, it's gonna go.
And give the ball to
Coast.
Koya Hayward. Floater in the
Coast.
lane. Tie ball game. 49 apiece.
And then
the definitive moment.
I want to see it from this
ball
angle.
game. We're playing some our defense. And there's the foul.
Yeah, it was the left hand. I couldn't see that on the
Takes
other.
the first, misses
on the
the
other
second.
angle.
Amira for the win, just short.
Man. Yeah, Koya knows she can't reach there. I mean, she knows. She's just in the moment. She's trying to make a play, but she's kicking herself there. But at the same time, we saw a bunch of really blatant hacks on shot attempts, and then we saw something not called. Something called that was, a reach that didn't really impact the play late. I don't love it, but that's the way it goes. There's you can point to 20 plays in that game. Bluffton missed open layups.
Yeah.
It's never decided.
It never boils down to just one, in my opinion. But give credit to Bluffton for what they're able to do to get back in it, because they just weren't really on their game to start it. I thought Ridgeview was the better team. They came out shooting the ball well. Bluffton just couldn't buy one, and that kind of first couple of minutes gave Ridgeview that cushion. But man, what a tremendous fight back from this Bluffton team, and I thought this was going to be like a 15, 20-point win for the Blazers, but Bluffton dug in and made this a tremendous game, and give credit to it, because that team with such small depth and what they're able to do defensively to get some stops, and then use that press to just overwhelm that Blazer squad. Koya Hayward, what a special player, and we're really going to miss seeing her play with that green and white uniform, because 5 years? I mean, how often do you get to see a full 5-year career, and all of them tremendous seasons?
Yeah,
and just the legacy that she leaves behind for this program. I mean, total point, she definitely went over 1,000. Trying to think of
she went over 1,500 this season.
Yeah,
she had a terrific career, and she wasn't always the primary scorer on her teams either. She was a distributor for the most part for a long time, and really only took on the scoring role more the last 3 years or so, and especially this year. This year she really had to carry some load. She and Amira. She didn't have Katie Rodney, there, who had been able to put up a lot of points, and but she showed some leadership qualities this year that I think she would agree she needed to work on up until this point. And we've had her on a number of times this year, and she's obviously got a clear plan, and she's excited about Claflin and about law school and what comes after her. So she's thinking big picture, and she's run her own race, and I credit her for that. I'm sure there are things that maybe she would do differently when she looks back on it, play in AAU this season or that, or training more for track or less for track or whatever, because that's the nature of it. But she ran her own race. She did what she wanted to do, and she had a terrific career. And I mean, really, they've been, the gold standard of the region for the entire time she's been there. It's pretty remarkable.
They finished 24-2, which is an exceptional record. Just thinking about who they played this year, had those 2 tournament wins. They had only regular season loss to a good military magnet team where they were missing some players, and gave this really good Ridgeview team, one of the best, and might be the favorite to win Class 4A. Although there's probably some strong teams in the upstate too.
Upstate's solid, yeah.
But
it'll be a battle, but they're strong, very strong.
Yeah, but Bluffton was right there, and this was hurdle. Could they get past that first round? Could they get past that second round? They did, and I mean, you can't really call it. I mean, they handled it so well these last few playoff games. Certainly, there were some things they wish they could have done differently, but this was a tremendous success. How they handled themselves
Yeah.
in the postseason. At the end,
Yeah.
just a couple of plays turn the other way and they win.
They changed the narrative. They changed the narrative this season. They followed through and they went toe to toe with a powerhouse, a true powerhouse. They didn't bow out to
right.
an inferior opponent or something like
They've
that.
got people that are very good.
They did the thing this year, and it's a tough way to see it end for them because again, you'd love to see Maddie out there, see the whole crew at full strength and
Right.
and all that, but it is what it is, and they rolled with the punches all season, didn't really let it affect them, went out there and played the heck out of them. Yeah, the depth
Yeah.
was one more kid, the one on the scooter.
Right.
There's one on the scooter would have made a big difference, but it is what it is, and everybody deals with it.
For the game.
You never know. There's usually somebody on the other bench that's got their knee in a brace or something too, and you don't know what they were. But it was a heck of a year, been a heck of a run, and that's Lonnie's swan song as well. He's been the head girls basketball coach there since the doors opened in '04. So it's been, or
And
yeah,
era. Yeah.
it's been a heck of a run for him as well. They've had a tremendous amount of success, and he leaves it in good hands. And next coach is going to have some big shoes to fill, but also a rich tradition to carry on. So we'll see. The transfer portal may be open this off season too, just because you have upheaval, you have coaching changes
Right.
and things like that. And if Bigham gets the AD job at May River, then that basketball coaching job comes open, and you got the emergence of Cross and the Hilton Head Christian Academy
Right.
class moving out, and there's a lot of
Moving
stuff,
parts.
a lot of
Yeah.
moving parts. So we'll see where people land, but been an awesome run for Bluffton.
Yeah. And this
We'll
is
talk.
good to see. I mean, this is the run that we've been envisioning these last few years. So, that's we never want to see it end like that. Coming all the way back to fall short 50-49 at home, but man, as you said, they accomplished everything that was expected of them. I think it obviously would have been a nice added bonus if they were able to play a few more games. But I mean, they answered all the questions that they were given for how could this team do with limited depth. Could Takoya Hayward really become that go-to player and carry them to a few postseasons? They did all that, and man, I mean they're a tooth and nail with a Ridgeview team that just had a lot more. I mean, certainly the depth was a big factor. They had size and they had some shot makers, and Bluffton unfortunately had a couple of opportunities that slipped away from them in this ball game, and just to see it decided. And I agree with that. When you have that thin depth, you don't want to accumulate those fouls, which is another consequence of having that short amount of depth. So it's tough. It's definitely challenging in that scenario to really decide how to carry out your team and how you play your game when you're going up against a team that has a lot more than you do. So it's definitely a situation. The cards sometimes are stacked against you at that point, but man, they carried out quite an effort, and I'm just really proud of everybody from top to bottom. Takoya Hayward, especially Myra Brown, played with just an amazing poise in her freshman season. I mean, she looked like someone who's been in that program for a while, especially down the stretch of that season and into these playoff games. And then Jelena Mosley, just absolute stud defensively, and then I'm sure she definitely is thinking of some of those opportunities on offense she could have had back, and a couple turnovers and just couldn't finish on a few of them. But at the same time, you just think of how many shots she prevented at the other end by the way she played defense and picking up a couple steals defensively as well. So, yeah, I agree. The energy really did pick up in that second half when they really got out pressed on defense, and it was kind of like they were playing with. I mean, they had to play with a little more intensity since they were behind, so the pressure was kind of on them. So had to take a couple more chances, go to that press, go to that high energy defense and find a way to change the script, and they did. Just unable to really finish the job in that fourth quarter. But man, yeah,
4 versus
totally
5
agree.
on 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that. We'll shout out some sponsors. And
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
turn
you
the
really
page here.
need when you're playing with some of those. I mean, those guys that Emma Kate McMahon stepping in when you see some other players go down, and just having that thin bench. They did all they could, and they did a fantastic job. Bolden had that enormous bucket to cut it back to 2, and she was doing a little bit of everywhere, getting some steals. She had a big steal that helped set up a bucket in that third quarter, and they're making that run. So she was sensational. Everything you could have hoped for her, she did. And then McMahon was excellent. I mean, she really filled a role and did a good job. So, those role players, I mean, they performed what they needed to do. But
they grew up. They grew up a lot over the course of the season and gave them what they needed to have a chance. Sponsor break, Wes. What? Oh yeah, I was trying to take a sponsor break. That's right. I was. I was gonna take a. He had something else to say. When you got something else to say, he's like, hold on. We're not turning the page yet. Varsity sponsors the LowcoSports DDS web design, building, hosting, and maintaining websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, hit up ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties. They've been doing that for years. Jumped on with us this year to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Reverence Wrestling Club is the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. Coming at you Sunday night. We'll tell you who all brought home hardware from the state tournament. And Dr. Ambrose Cole from Rooted Living Wellness, our official chiropractor of LowcoSports. He'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit over at Rooted Living Wellness, Dr. Ambrose Cole. So, Wes, we got some other scores to report on today. I did just find, unfortunately, I found a rough score for us. Bishop England girls lacrosse 19-0 over Bluffton. That was a tough one. And then let's see. I haven't found Hilton Head, Effingham County yet, but we got some golf. Hilton Head Prep firing a 156 at the Country Club of Hilton Head to edge Heritage Academy by just 3 shots. So pretty good battle there. JP2 third with the 175, and then it goes on from there. Cade Kriskunas from Hilton Head Prep shot 1 over 37 to take medalist honors, and then I only have JP2's full scores, but Dylan Fullscroft with the 41. So we'll see what else we can track down. But yeah, there's a few scores. But looking ahead to tomorrow, more importantly, we got some more hoops on tap. Skeeza 3A girls semis, Hilton Head Christian and Palmetto Christian at 3:30 up in Sumter, and then at 6:30, same gym, JP2 and Orangeburg Prep in the other semifinals. So we have a Lowco on Lowco final still in play. Patrick Henry will take on Cathedral Academy in 2A girls semis at 5:30 at Wilson Hall. And then the Hilton Head Prep boys will take on Oakbrook Prep at 8 o'clock at Sumter. So we got 3 Lowco teams going almost back to back up in Sumter. So we'll be looking for reports from up there all day tomorrow.
And will any of those games be streamed, if you know, because
I mean, if you go on the Skeeza scoreboard and news page on Facebook.
Skeeza will, for the finals, they normally will stream
for the finals,
game.
they usually break out Skeeza TV, but
they've played the finals in the past.
Sometimes for the semis, we'll keep an eye out. We'll keep our eyes peeled. But certainly, the Skeeza scoreboard and news group on Facebook has proven to be the most reliable and up to date source of information overall, I would say, other than what you can find on Twitter. But they had live streams last night from both gyms in Wilson Hall. And then I know somebody was streaming the Hilton Head Prep game. But you can usually find links in there because people will drop them in comments and stuff. So great place to get all the scoop over there. And then we'll also have some soccer, lacrosse, and softball tomorrow as well. Hilton Head River Bluff, Bishop England Bluffton in soccer, girls soccer, Bluffton Buford boys lacrosse. And I think those 2 soccers have to be scrimmages, right?
I don't think it starts until Monday.
I don't think they can play real games yet.
Yeah.
And then the Skisa, though, all bets are off. So Jeff Davis, Patrick Henry softball. I think that one's countable.
Yeah.
Stricklander didn't put scrimmage on there, so I think it's a real
on their website because sometimes their calendar's a little different than high school league. So I'll get back to you on that if I can look up the Skisa website while we keep talking.
What are we looking at?
I was just making sure I was just taking the Skisa schedule.
Awesome.
So I have all the dates on there.
I don't know how they got in there. We got a lot of different people been trying to help get schedules in, and can't tell on half the schedules whether they're scrimmages or games. But I have an incredible database of spring sporting events compiled that we have to somehow track down the results from. So certainly, if you want to help this thing continue to thrive or grow, help us find more sponsors or become a patron, find a way to support us because we definitely need it. We're going to be busy.
So February 19th. So regular season has begun for Skisa Spring Sports.
Oh yeah, yeah. They let them go early usually. So yeah, we're getting after it. It's baseball season on the farm. I know that, and it's happy birthday, by the way, to Coach Wayne Brown out on the farm. The Patrick Henry boys did not get that basketball title, but they're going to try to run it back in baseball. Go see the big cat soon.
Yeah, that's
the spring big board is bananas. I mean, I can show you what it looks like if you want to see. It's kind of scary. Here we go. See what this thing looks like. It's all chill here, and then we're just like here in a couple weeks. Watch some of these days. Look how long these days start to get. Look at Thursday. Oh, look at my birthday. Oh, March hits and it just explodes.
Potentially another big one on March 1st if things go right on Saturday. We'll see.
That's right. Xavier Garvin and I have plans to have celebratory Holt Brothers barbecue on my birthday in Florence.
Still one more high school league team left on the hoops front, and that's the Hampton County Hurricanes, who got it done at home to push themselves into another date with Oceanside. So I'm really excited for that one. I just wish that they're a little bit more spaced out because we'll be at the Cove for the last USCB men's and women's basketball game, which I'm. By the way,
but I will say it doesn't tip till 8. So while I have done the math and it's just not feasible to try to get there after the USCB game, which invariably goes to overtime. But it's just not worth it. Yeah. But it means we can get home and watch it on a live stream at 8 o'clock. And we can talk about it or cheer on them Canes. Cheer on them Canes.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And yeah, it could be a fun show on Saturday, and potentially some state champs to be crowned. The girls 3A, boys 3A will have their state title games then. And girls play theirs on Friday, so could have some.
Cross girls are on Friday.
Cross is on Friday, I believe.
Friday afternoon. I might have misread that. That's interesting. All right. Good times. Good times. Well, the Lowco Booster Club helps us do all this. The Court Lifestyle Pros, Low Country natives Daniel and Debbie Court would love to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. They are with the Charter One Realty Group, Court Lifestyle Pros. Let them bring you home. Revive Rehab, women's health and pelvic floor physical therapy. If you have a friend who just had a baby, a great gift for their baby shower or baby sprinkle is about to have a baby, I guess. A great gift is a gift card to Revive Rehab because they're definitely going to need some advice and some support when they get done and their postpartum stage. So Revive Rehab can help with that. Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen. Eagle Creations, they provide great promotional items and custom apparel as well as custom gift baskets. You can visit their showroom over on Argent Boulevard. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. It's right downtown. So many great places to eat. Fiddler Seafood right across the street, another great place to eat. We always talk about the tacos, but they got some really good po' boys across the street too.
I missed that one. I went to the
good.
Next
it's
time.
Solid. They're both solid. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, floor so clean, your feet will thank you. Chris Adam is the man. Saw him like this stream earlier. Love it when he does that. Prime IV Hydration and Wellness over in Belfair Town Village. Go see Max and the team and get juiced up. Iron Man Chlorophyll. Yeah, I wish. Just good old filtered tap water. Filtered through the refrigerator. I guess it's not tap water, but filtered water. Filtered regular Bluffton water. This is our Loco Booster Club. We appreciate their support throughout the year, helping us shine a light on deserving teams and student athletes around the Low Country through grassroots sports coverage. And Wes, looking ahead, what you got on tap tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'll be camping out watching some Skeezy games. So hopefully we can get some live streams on here and
stream surfing.
See how they go down, because it's wall-to-wall coverage, 3:30 early mid-afternoon to late at night. So that's gonna be a lot of fun to keep an eye on all the games as they happen. And I like Hilda Chris Caddy's chances, that girls squad, to get past Palmetto Christian. JP2 Orangeburg. I think Orangeburg can be slight favorites there, but JP2 certainly have
tough game.
That should be a really good game. I think that'll be close. Patrick Henry Cathedral Academy, an opportunity there for PHA to get into that championship.
Yeah, I think Cathedral's probably the favorite there. Patrick Henry's got to play better than they did last game, but it's definitely within reach.
Yeah,
definitely.
Pieces are there for PHA. And I like Hilton Head Prep against Oak Brook, but certainly going to be a step up in difficulty for the Dolphins. But by the way they're playing, the way just seamlessly executing these last few weeks coming into a postseason, I think Prep gets it done and moves on to the finale. So
I do. They're well oiled.
Yeah.
Well oiled.
Yeah.
So should be good times. We'll be back with you tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, Loco Lowdown, and then we'll figure it out from there, because it's the wild season, wild west out there, and we'll see.
Expect us to be on Friday and Saturday nights, because we get this potential state championship action and other contests going on. So going to be a
keep an eye. Yep. Keep an eye on the Loco Media Network. See when we'll be popping up on your screen to let you know what's going on in the local sports scene. Thanks so much to Bracken Lambert for jumping on from Aiken, reporting on the Sand Sharks. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. Thanks to Javon Livingston for the interaction, but also for broadcasting the game tonight on Beaufort's Own. That was good stuff. And for being a good friend and good partner in this crazy circus we live in. And thanks so much to you for showing up to listen or watch. You're the reason we keep doing it, and we'll keep doing it as long as you support us. So if you have any potential sponsors, send them our way. We would love to market their business or organization to our loyal local audience, and give all kinds of love to them on here, and let people know that they make this all possible. So thanks everybody, and until next time, go Loco.
The LowcoSports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Loco.